Kerr wanted it to get it to Duncan so badly, waited until he fell down and got back up, and then Duncan inside outside to Speedy Claxton, and just that quickly Speedy's in the books.
Favorite to win this championship.
Inside outside, and Claxton knocks it down again. When Duncan draws a double team, he's got another rebound. Both Duncan and Robinson with double-doubles, and in Tim's case, big-time double-doubles. And as Bill said, it might swell to triple-double or quadruple-double before the night's over. Claxton outside, the Speedy got it. Roused the crowd with a 12-0 run. Claxton outside, he got it. Speedy Claxton, 10 on the shot clock. We're under 4 minutes. Claxton trying to weave through traffic. Robinson finds the handle. Claxton before the shot clock.
It's the comfort zone. A zone that most fear to challenge. If one is in challenge, one will never become great. It's the greatest minds that ultimately challenge themselves that ultimately become the greatest selves. When you realize that everything you've accepted is the reason why you are where you are today. It's never about the world, it's always about what you're willing to accept. And by you accepting your comfort, it ultimately creates a safety net. And a safety net is what you allowed yourself to stay in. But we don't want to hear this. We ultimately want to point the fingers and ultimately blame others for our poor decision making. You are your choices, you are your decisions, you are your actions. But actions speak louder than words, and your words won't speak louder than your actions because you want your actions to speak louder than your words. But again, you can say whatever you want, but your actions will say more. And when you start talking about one's actions, one see that is attached to their biggest fears. My biggest fear is being in my comfort zone. I don't want to be comfortable because comfort is what creates the safety. And that's why you'll never be great. When one is comfortable, one won't see that they'll never become great. Why fear the truth when the lie is the enemy? Why fear reality when delusion is the enemy? See, the thing is, we can't see what's our true enemies. We walk around blindfolded through life, looking for ways through life. What's going on, guys? It's the Don't Let That Go Over Your Head podcast. I'm with a special. When I say special, it means a lot to me because he is from my neck of the woods. This man has definitely inspired me for years from a distance, and he doesn't even know it. This is the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Speedy. I say it again, Speedy Claxton. Come on, guy.
Yo, man, thanks for having me on, man.
Thanks.
Looking forward to it.
Come on,
Appreciate
bro.
you.
When I say humbleness, guys, you feel the humbleness of this man. You know, you can tell
You
your
have to
parents.
remain humble, man. Through everything, man. You have to remain humble.
But you can
no
see by
matter
far
what.
your parents did a good job, bro. We got to give them the honor. And I know I can tell you know God, too.
I
Man,
appreciate that. I appreciate it.
So let's get to the beginnings, man. Like, what's your story, man?
You know, originally grew up in Corona, Queens.
Okay.
Went to Christ the King High School.
Yes.
After Christ the King High School, came here. Played 4 years under Coach Wright. He was in the Hall of Fame. He, went on to get drafted by the Sixers in the first round.
Yes.
20th pick, and then went on to have a 10-year NBA career.
10 years, guys. That's so inspiring in itself because they said that the average career is, 3 to 4 years?
3 years.
3 years, man. Come on, 10 years.
Yeah,
You know?
definitely got my pension. But when you're in it, it goes so fast.
Yes.
Like it felt like my 10 years flew by like that. And then now when I'm like watching the finals, I'm like, damn, that's crazy. Like I played in that.
Yes.
Like, that's wild.
Yes.
Like that was dope.
So something funny, looking at you now to when I first saw you, you still look the same.
A little bit of grace.
But we all
grace.
gray up, right? That comes with the territory of aging. You can't run from it, but that's also wisdom.
Yeah, facts.
That's also wisdom.
Facts.
So if you could do something back over in your career, what would you do over?
Honestly, I would probably work even harder on my game once I got to the NBA.
Yeah.
I feel like once I made it, I kind of, relaxed a little bit. I took my foot off the pedal.
Yeah.
And I don't think the world really got to see the true Speedy Claxton. Like,
Wow.
I wish I had a redo.
Wow. So you say, like, would you say it was the money? It slowed you down? Got you more comfortable?
Yeah, and then I kind of reached my goal.
Yeah.
Like, that was the dream, that was the goal. I reached it.
Yeah.
And then, I was in it, and I kind of just relaxed. And I got into, like, the lifestyle of the NBA. and forgot about, I still have a job to do and still need to work and out of the season, like not chill with my homeboys as much, not party in the city and like really focus and work on my game. Like I could have made so much more money and, could have made an even bigger name for myself.
Yes. Well, where I'm from, that name is humongous. I'm being honest with you.
It could have been international.
Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that. Well, I got to ask you, as a veteran in the NBA, who was your vet that took you under their wing and showed you the ropes of being in the NBA?
My first vet was probably Eric Snow and Aaron McKee.
Snow
and Aaron McKee. They kind of took me under their wings and kind of showed me what the NBA is about and kind of, how to approach the daily life of an NBA player. Like, I owe a lot to those guys. Because even my first year, I got hurt. So I tore my ACL. So I couldn't really do much. And, like, Aaron McKee would come over, because I couldn't drive. So he would come pick me up, take me out to eat, and all that type stuff. So, shout out to my guy, Aaron McKee. I still talk to him to this day.
Wow.
Like, both those guys, Snow and Aaron McKee, they really looked out for me my rookie year.
Wow. I think that's vital. And one thing I like about this podcast is we like to acknowledge what came before us and also understanding that you need mentorship.
Of course.
Right? I think in our culture, a lot of people don't understand how impactful mentorship is.
Nah, it is. That's everything. Like, people who came before you, they gotta pave the way. They paved the way for you, and they show you like the right and wrong way to do things. Just like when I was a vet and Chris Paul came in the league, I showed him the ropes. And if you look on YouTube or Google or whatever, you'll find a video. Even if you go on my Instagram, you'll find a video of CP like saying that, I showed him the ropes. I showed him what the NBA was about and all that type stuff.
But that's what I like is when you learn. You can learn yourself more by someone that's older than you because I can figure out myself through you.
Oh, yeah.
But I want to ask you another question, though. Like, when you look back to your playing career, right, who was the hardest player for you to defend?
The hardest player for me to defend?
That's a question you ask a lot, right?
Nah, that's a dope question. I would probably say AI. I would probably say AI. It was actually dope to be his teammate for my first couple of years, and then to compete against him in my later years. Because he was also somebody that I looked up to and admired. So to be a teammate of his, like, it was like, yo, that's dope. Like, this is somebody I looked up to. Like, this. But then I had to immediately forget about that and go compete against him. But AI was tough, man. He was similar size like myself. Equally as fast, but then he also had the ultimate green light.
Green light too.
When you go on the guys that got that green light, it's hard. They can do whatever they want anytime. That's a hard guard.
I watched the video the other day with DeMarcus Cousins and Rashard McCants. They was arguing back and forth.
I saw that.
You saw it?
I saw that.
How do you feel about that when he said it's easy to average 30 when you're the only star? And how do you feel about that?
So yes, like anybody that plays in the NBA is very, very skilled and they're very good. So you put somebody in a situation where they're the go-to guy, they can succeed. The team might not win, but they can succeed.
They're gonna get off.
They're gonna get off because anybody that's in the NBA, they're worthy to be there. And they, at one point in their lifestyle, they're probably in college, they were the go-to guy. So they're used to that.
Yes. So even like, it's funny because me and my guy, we go at it a lot and I tell him like,
honestly, it's harder being a role player in the NBA than it is to be a star. I tell people that all the time.
Why do you say that?
Because when you're only getting 3 to 5 shots a game,
you gotta make them count.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta make them count. Those shots are much harder. When you're allowed to take 20, 25 shots, you can get into a rhythm. At some point, even if you miss 3 or 4, you're gonna get into a rhythm. If you're only allowed to take 4 or 5 shots, you miss your first 2. It's like, oh man, like that third one, you better make, or that buzzer could be sounding.
You might not, you couldn't get out of the game. I seen a video that Dwight Howard actually said something about he averaged 12 points on the Hornets, only on 8 shots. So when you look at efficiency, I'm like, some people don't admire efficiency. Right, and that's one thing I think people need to look a little deeper into the sport, understand the statistics.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, wow, when I never thought about 8 shots is what, 16 points?
Yeah.
You know, if you get all of them.
Yeah.
So he's averaging 12.
But if you're in that role, you're still only going to get those 8 shots.
Yes.
Even if you're that efficient, it's not like that. Oh, let's go to Dwight even more because you're efficient. No, that's your role. Like you got those 8 shots probably because of the best player on the team.
Yeah. You said a minute ago that you played with Allen Iverson. Do you believe Allen Iverson, if you gave him an amazing 1-2 combination, he would have won a championship?
It's tough to say that because it's because of the size of NBA players. It's gonna be hard for a guy that's 5'10" to be the go-to guy and to be able to carry his team to that extent.
So Allen Iverson's really 5'10"?
Yeah.
They tried to weigh 6'2".
AI is 5'10". We're eye to eye. Now I know I'm 5'10".
Yeah, you're only 5'10", AI. You know, but so my question next is who would you say was your greatest teammate outside of Aaron McKee being your vets? Who was your greatest teammate for your whole career?
My greatest teammate probably be Stack 5, Steven Jackson.
Everyone loves Steve.
That was my brother. That's still my brother. That's still my brother. Like, we hung out pretty much every single day when we were in San Antonio.
You won a chip there, right?
We won a chip.
Yes.
So it was fun. Like, we would trade cars. After practice, we would go to the strip club, have lunch.
Wow.
Like, his boys were my boys were his boys. Like, we were so tight that year.
Yeah.
I mean, we were inseparable.
Wow. How are y'all still today to this day?
We're still cool to this day.
That's
like that's still my guy, man.
It's a bond.
Shout out to Steve Jackson. You know, up and all they're doing their thing in the podcast world.
Yes, they are. I'm inspired by a lot of athletes because, you know, to get to the ultimate prize, it takes a certain level of discipline that a lot of people don't want to basically admire.
Yeah.
I admire athletes, even the ones that don't make it, just to get to a collegiate level. It's amazing. As a coach, how hard would you say it is to make it to the professional level?
It's extremely hard. You know, I find nowadays these kids, everybody say they want to be a professional.
Yes.
But they're not willing to do what it takes to be a professional.
Yes.
Like, even my kids, I ask them all the time, what do you want to do after school?
Yeah.
And they all say they want to be a professional. But if I don't see you doing what it takes to be a professional, like, I'm like, no, you really don't. Like, that's just talk. Yeah. Like, if you're going to talk the talk, you got to walk the walk, because I know what that path, I know what it takes. Yes. And I know what that path looks like.
Yes.
Like, I know what you need to do in order to get there.
Wow.
And if I don't see you doing that, I just know it's talk.
Yes. My next question is, coming out from college, when did you know you could make it to the league?
Man, I'm going to say probably right after my senior year, and I went to like the pre-draft camps. Back then, they had 3 pre-draft camps. They had Portsmouth Invitational, which was mostly like really good seniors in college, but pretty much was going to go undrafted.
Okay.
Then the next phase was Phoenix camp, where it was like pretty much second rounders.
Okay.
And then they had the final round, which was called like the Chicago pre-draft camp, and that was like the first rounders, you know, lottery picks and all that type of stuff. So during my senior year, I was just hoping to get invited to the Portsmouth Invitational.
Yes.
But then I got an invitation. I bypassed the Portsmouth Invitational, and I got invited to Phoenix. I was like, all right, well, that's a good sign.
Yes.
So then I went out to Phoenix, and then that's where I got to play against like all the high major point guards, the A. Coders, the Scooney Penns, the Matt Santangelos.
Yes.
And I did my thing out there. I was like, okay. Yeah. And that was the one question that NBA scouts had on me. They was like, you know, the level of competition. He didn't really play against the level of competition on a nightly basis.
Yes.
So I had to go out there and prove myself against those guys, and quite honestly, I killed them. So I got invited to the Chicago camp, and same thing. I was there with like the first rounders, and I killed them again.
Wow.
Then I went on to like the individual teams tryouts, workouts, and same thing. Like, anybody they put me up against, I annihilated. And at that point, I was like this, you know what, yo,
get there.
I'm gonna get drafted.
Wow.
And if not in the second, I'm gonna get drafted in the first round.
Wow. Who do you thought was gonna pick you up?
Honestly, I thought Toronto was gonna pick me.
Wow.
Toronto and New York, I thought was gonna pick me, like, cause Philly, they called my agent and asked me to come, for a workout the week of the draft. But at that point, I had already did like 12 workouts for teams. So I was like, I was tired. It was draft week. I kind of just wanted to kick back and relax. So we actually declined their workout.
Wow.
And then it's also, we looked at their situation, was like, well, that might not be a good situation. They got AI, they got East Snow, like they got way too many guards over there. So like that probably wouldn't be a good situation for me.
Still picture.
So we declined the workout. But come draft night, they still picked me. So when it was their selection, I wasn't even paying attention to them because like, well, I declined their workout. They're probably not gonna pick me. But then they picked me. I was like, oh, and I like at that point I was just happy to be picked, to hear my name called.
Yeah.
So I was just happy about that.
But as a vet, right, and an NBA player yourself, people say that the NBA is rigged. What do you hear when you hear that?
I didn't see it when I was there, so I don't know what people talk about.
I don't see it.
I don't know.
I don't see it, bro.
I mean, I played my hardest. I try to go out there and win every game. So I don't know what people talking about.
Yeah.
Maybe I was in the dark.
But I gotta
Maybe that was above my pay grade.
So now you say, your family's originally from?
Antigua.
Would you say that Caribbean background made you, like, the discipline, the sternness of your family?
Definitely. The structure, like the hard work, like, watching my dad, raise 7 kids and, busting his tail to provide.
Yes.
Like, that's all I needed to see.
What do you fall in at the 7 kids? What do you fall in?
I'm the third oldest.
The third oldest?
Yes.
Third oldest. Wow.
My older sister, she's a doctor.
Wow.
So,
wow.
I mean, we have greatness in our family.
I agree. I've known your brother for a long time.
Yep.
He's a brother to me. I got mad love for him. We just found out that we don't live too far from each other.
Yeah, he's in Oceanside also.
Yeah, so we're going to lock in, But next question is, being that you're a point guard from New York, and I'm going to be honest with you, Tally, I don't know this. This is what we bred point guards in New York.
Oh, yeah.
Bred them.
Everybody know that.
What? So my next question is, who would you say, outside of yourself, would say inspired you as a guard coming from New York?
You gotta give their respect to, Steph Marbury, Kenny Anderson, Mark Jackson, Ross Strickland. Like, those are the godfathers.
Yes.
And if you go past that, you go to Pearl Monroe's and all that type stuff.
Yes.
But for me, that's my Mount Rushmore.
That's the Mount Rushmore.
That's my Mount Rushmore right there.
Okay. There's a guy that I got to witness a lot in Rucker, and you know where I'm about to go. And I watched him a lot from Queens. My boy Ray Foster.
Oh, Skip?
Yeah.
Skip, Skip my dude, man. Love Skip. Like, he was probably the first, street bowler to make it to the NBA.
League. Yes. Yes.
He transitioned from street ball to real basketball.
Yes.
So I was definitely happy to see his success, man.
Who put the ball in your hands?
I'm gonna say, rest in peace, my guy Leslie Lance. When I was, grew up in Corona, Queens, and went to St. Gabe's playing CYO. Like, he was my first coach.
Wow. I have to ask a story as a New Yorker. There's a guy by the name of Lenny Cook. I'm asking this question because I've never got to witness him. Was he really like that?
Well, I'm older than Lenny.
Yes.
So I was well into my career when Lenny was coming up, but I remember hearing his name, and actually my brother Mikey would talk about him a lot.
Wow.
And he would say, yo, he's better than LeBron, Carmelo, Chris Bosh, all those guys.
Wow.
And Lenny's my guy now. Sometimes it just doesn't work out.
Yeah.
It's different situations, man.
Yeah. That's amazing because I've always wanted to see this guy. Like, everyone's talked about this guy.
Yep.
Like, when I was growing up, I heard Speedy, Steph's, Rods, Kenny. It's funny because Kyrie mirrored his game after that Strickland guy. You can see it.
Well, that's his godfather.
Yeah, you can see it, though.
Yep.
As far as NBA now, I got to ask this question. Who do you think is the GOAT?
The GOAT?
The GOAT.
I was going to say Michael Jordan.
Oh, my God.
You got to go MJ, man. That's who I grew up watching. Like, He annihilated my. I'm a Knicks fan. I was a Knicks fan.
Yes.
So like I grew up have him kill my Knicks. Like he's definitely the GOAT. Like whenever he had a game winning shot, you just knew he was making it. You just knew. It's like, all right, well, if Michael Jordan has the basketball, you know it's game over. But I don't see that anymore. Like you just knew.
Yeah.
Like games, like he's making a shot. He's making a shot.
I'm gonna say it on record. My favorite player of all time is definitely LeBron James.
Well, you're a little younger. So you would say that.
Yeah, bro. It's just he's complete.
He is. But
you know?
if a game was on the line, I'm definitely putting the ball in Michael Jordan's hands.
I would too.
Definitely putting the ball in Michael Jordan's hands.
He's an assassin.
I know that he's gonna be able to make that shot. I'm iffy about Bron.
So who you giving it to, Kobe or Jordan first?
Still Michael. Still Michael. But Kobe's second.
Yes.
Kobe's second.
Yes.
LeBron is third. For me, personally.
How was it like meeting Kobe?
Kobe was dope, man. I actually played against Kobe in high school.
Wow. I know that.
Yeah, in AAU. So like this was before that this was before he was Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
So I was on a really good AAU team.
Yes,
like it was myself, Lamar Odom, like LeVar Poster. We had a bunch of high major players. So I remember we were in Rhode Island.
Yes.
And we were in pool play, and we were 2-0. You know, we had our last game in pool play.
Yes.
About to play against Kobe and Richard Hamilton.
Yeah.
So we didn't know anything about them. But then my AAU coach, Gary Charles, he's a Baldwin guy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So before the game started, he came to us. He was like, listen. He was like, do not take this team lightly. Mm-hmm. And definitely don't look at them and think they can't play. Because it was just Richard Hamilton and like a bunch of other players.
Yes.
So he was like, I'm telling you, these two minorities over there, they're bad boys. Like, I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
So we was like, all right, whatever, Gee. So we went out there and started playing. And I was like, oh, he wasn't playing. Like, these two are legit. Like, they were nice.
Wow.
And then, you know, in hindsight, it turned out to be Rip Hamilton and Kobe Bryant.
Wow.
So I was like, oh, they ended up beating us. They ended up beating us in that game. I'm like, yo, Gary was like, these two are dead nice. And then years after, I'm like this, yo, that was Kobe Bryant and Rip Hamilton.
It makes sense.
That's crazy.
Now.
It makes sense now.
Makes sense now.
No wonder why they beat us.
So traveling around the world and playing basketball, what state would you say is the best basketball state?
New York.
I would say it because I'm from here. So we have to exclude New York. What would you say?
After New York, I would probably say Cali.
Cali?
Yeah.
I like the DMV area. I like the DMV.
Yeah, they have some talent. DMV definitely has some talent. I wish as a college coach that I could break into that area, the DMV area, because they do have some talent.
I hear that because a lot of people talk about the DMV area, and I see a lot of talent.
Yeah,
you know, going over
a lot of talent. It's just hard for me to get talent out of the DMV area because so many teams, similar teams at my level are closer to the DMV area. So
what would be your ultimate goal as a coach?
To make it to the NCAA tournament.
Outside of that,
that's really it. Yeah. That's my end goal. I don't want to go to a higher level or anything like. If I could take this program and make it to the NCAA tournament, you know, March Madness and all that, success.
Wow.
And I ride off to the sunset.
I got to meet one of your athletes, one of your players. The one thing he said to me, and I admire about you, is he said you care about your players. And I told him, I said, he's a former player, so he understands. I always say, if you start as a janitor, you could ultimately understand how to run the court, the company, right? Rather, so that's what I told him. I said, he understands it. He comes from bottom all the way
backgrounds.
Up. Yeah, and I said, so he understands. He knows what you're going through.
I know what they're going through. I walked that path that these kids are walking.
Yes.
So I could definitely help them navigate through anything that they're going through in life, whether it's on the court or off the court.
Wow. So what would you say is one of the best things you've learned now being a coach from playing that transitions to being a coach now?
Probably, you know, showing the kids that you love them. Because when you show them that you love them, that's gonna make them work even harder for you. For these kids, it's very important for these kids to know that you love them as a person first, before a player.
Wow. I think that's vital in mentorship, right?
Yeah.
It's showing that I do care about you. You know, it's not for my own selfish gain.
Nah.
You know, but I can see that. I can feel it. You know,
and these kids know that I'm not trying to use them.
Yes.
Like I truly want the best for them. I'm trying to put them in a position to succeed in life.
Yes.
Like I don't need anything from them. Like I'm well set and all that type of stuff.
Yes.
So the only reason I'm doing this is to put them in a position to win and be successful for themselves and their family.
You plan on staying at Hofstra forever?
Yeah, pretty much.
I love it. Yeah, that story, just think about that story, to come back to where you played at, to coach it, right? Not be an assistant, but a head coach, right? Wow. That's a full circle moment. I know when you touch that court, it's like...
It's home. You know, when I walk anywhere, you know, say in my office, I got pictures of me in my office.
Yes.
When I walk around campus, there's pictures of me on campus. Not even just in the athletic, you know, buildings, like, you know, regular campus. And when I go into a practice facility, you see there's pictures of me. So I'm honestly, for my players, I'm walking inspiration and motivation for these kids.
Yes.
Because you could do great things right from here because they see it.
Yes.
They see it. I'm right in front of them every day.
And you know what I like about it? You're not the 6'10", you're not the 6'11" guy.
I'm smaller than most of my players.
It's crazy, right? You probably kill them still.
I don't know about that, but I like the sound of it.
Listen, you know, it starts in your head first, right? But the body don't
Mind
react.
over matter.
My question also is, who else made it from here?
Norm Richardson, who was actually my backcourt mate.
Yeah.
He played for Chicago for a little bit.
Yes.
Lawrence Stokes played for Orlando. Rick Apodaca actually played for Orlando also.
Yeah.
Charles Jenkins got drafted by Golden State, played with Philly. He probably could have stayed. He probably could have played a couple more years in the NBA, but he was kind of like that third string point guard, and he actually wanted to like have a career and not just be in the NBA.
Yeah.
So he chose to go to Europe and made a boatload of money.
Yes.
You know, he just retired this past year.
Yes.
So shout out to Charles Jenkins.
There's another guy that actually, football-wise, Colston.
Marcus
I know he had the
Colston.
football program.
Yeah. You know,
He was a dog.
New Orleans Saint, great.
Dog.
Definitely.
Big
and not
one,
just
too.
him. You know, we got Wayne Corbett.
Yes, Wayne.
Like, a bunch of football players, man.
It'd be nice if the
Steve
Jets come back
Bowen.
here.
Like, that. It was dope. Like, when the Jets were here on campus, you know, I would always go out there and watch in the preseason. Yeah.
I remember that. I used to stand behind the gate and just watch them all the
like
time.
that was a fun time. In August, when the Jets was out there for training camp, that was good times.
So let me ask you, what inspires you every day to keep up and keep going every day?
You know, to help these kids achieve their dreams and goals, man.
Yes.
Like, seriously, I tell them all the time, like, listen, the only reason I'm doing this is to help you guys succeed and put yourself and your families in better situations, because I know how important that is. I know what basketball could do for our community.
Yes.
So that's the only reason I'm doing this.
Now I want to ask you a fatherhood question. You know, a lot of the youth, they feel more entitled.
Oh, definitely.
So my thing is, now you're a celebrity, right? How's it your children, how does it transition for their work ethic, knowing that my dad is Speedy Claxton?
My kids, I mean, I have two of them here with me at Hofstra, and they love it and almost take advantage of it. Like they like during the first day of attendance, you know, obviously that professor's gonna recognize the last name, and then they give them special attention. They absolutely love it. And then, you know, all their classmates also look at them like, oh, that's Speedy's daughter. Like, so they absolutely love it.
Y'all can't tell me right now he does not look like he has college students. If you say yeah, you lying. Speedy don't look like he got no college students. It's that melanin, brother. It's that melanin.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But also, now, everything you got going on, right? When it's all said and done, one word, what would you want them to say about you?
That I was a legend.
Legend.
I was a legend. You know, I helped other people that came after me. And that's what it's all about. So it's helping that next generation succeed, man. Become great.
You know, my favorite line I say all the time, if you don't make the mission big enough, then God won't make it big enough for you. I say that all the time to my people. It has to be bigger than you.
Yes.
Now, I love that legend.
You got to help the next generation, man.
I got to say this, though. They say a man doesn't get his flowers until the day he dies. And humbly, as a man coming from your neck of the wood, I'm giving you your flowers.
I appreciate that,
Come on,
Q.
brother.
I appreciate that, man. Much love.
Listen, the whole concept of this is to show people that they can be great. And when you watch a man like yourself inspire youth, inspire yourself, come from a very big home of kids and become great, and your parents get to see you, right? It's an amazing experience, bro.
Like that's what it's really about for me. Like I hope I made my family and my dad proud.
I think so.
Like
I think so.
And they were with me through my whole journey. They've been very supportive since I was in high school, coming to the games, when I was at Hofstra, coming to the games, NBA, all that. So shout out to my family, man. And they honestly, they're the ones who kept me level-headed.
Wow.
Like they would call me a bum, and seriously, no one thought I was making it to the NBA.
Wow.
Like I'm a big manifester.
Yes.
So like I will always speak things to existence. So I will always tell my family, like, yeah, well, I'm making it to the NBA, I'm gonna buy your car, I'm gonna buy your house. Like this, yeah, okay, okay. Even my dad. And then when I made it to the NBA, I made sure I did all that. I bought all my family, all my siblings a car, like gave my siblings a down payments for houses. Like I made sure
that you gave back.
Look out for my fam.
There's a guy I was talking to the other day, and I gotta ask this story. I want to see if he's lying. He said you used to have a Bentley just parked in Hempstead, just chilling.
That's where I'm from. That's where I drive. Like
no. He said you didn't even drive. It's just to sit.
Nah, I'm listening. That's what I drove. That's my hood. Listen, I'm not scared to be in my hood. Like that's where I grew up.
Now come on, we know.
And then I also want to show them, like, listen, you can make it out of here.
Yes.
Like you can make it out of here.
Yes.
With hard work.
Yes.
And determination, you can make it.
You know. The other day we did an interview with Zab Judah.
My guy Zab.
Yeah, and we were talking to Zab and another New Yorker.
Yep.
And I was saying to him, like, his father, he always talks about how his father was like strict on him and hard on him, and it pushed him. But I'm hearing that very, very vital.
No, it's true. It's facts, because when I made it to the NBA, like my dad was like my financial advisor.
Yeah.
And he didn't want me to buy that Bentley. He tried. He was like, he's like this, you know. He's from the island, so he's not used to prices. Yes. He said, "You want to pay how much for that car?" So he's like, "No." I was like, "This, no. Listen, it's my money.
Yes,
this is what I want. I'm overruling you right now. Like, I'm not listening to you. Like, I'm going to buy this. This is what I want."
Yes.
But he definitely helped me save my money and not spend it frivolously.
Wow. You know what I'm getting from hearing you, and this is the one thing I think culturally we need to be more impactful, is the man. We have to step up and be great examples for the next generation of men. But I'm hearing that with you, and I'm hearing that with everyone I'm talking to. Even Katino Mobley said that his stepfather was a major, like, on him. And that's why I'm saying, as a man, I think we owe it to the youth.
Of course.
Right? We owe it to them.
We have to show them the way, man.
Yes.
We got to show them what it is.
Listen, brother, I'm so inspired by your story. But if you could tell anybody anything today, a young person standing in front of you today, and he's telling you, I want to make it to the NBA, or someone that didn't make it, what would you say to them?
Listen, you get out of it what you put into it. So if you go out there and work hard, and you're dedicated, and you're really focused on the goal, you can make it. But it's all about your work ethic.
Yes.
It can't be just something you say.
Yes.
Your actions have to, prove that.
Wow.
Your actions have to say that.
We were just talking about that on the way here. We were talking about work ethic. I'm like, it's beautiful, but the one thing I've noticed that you're saying, you said the manifestation. But the Bible says faith without work is dead. So you're saying the work ethic and the manifestation is there. So you're saying it, but I'm also doing it.
Yeah. You gotta believe
the shot you put up, right? And the constantly working on your handle and consistently working on your game. So as a man now, would you say how vital is controlling your emotions and being practical and being calm? How would you say that?
It's vital. But you gotta believe. You gotta have the belief in yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, why would anyone else believe in you? So it starts within.
Wow, wow, wow. Amazing story, Speedy. Man, I love you, my brother.
I appreciate you, my dude.
Just to be able to do this, guys, just so y'all know before I even leave, this guy is from my neck of the wood, and it's an honor for me to be able to sit with him. This is a guy I grew up watching and was inspired by, because growing up, you had to either sling, crack rock, or you had a wicked jump shot.
Yeah.
So as a former guy from a poverty-stricken area.
I had the jump shot.
You had the jump shot.
I had the jump shot.
You know what I'm saying? But while watching him, I got inspired to stay into sports and understand, like, yo, somebody made it from over here. We can make it. We can do it. You know, and I just want to say, bro, you inspiring a lot of people, brother.
Appreciate you, my dude.
And this episode gonna go crazy.
I can't wait.
My guys, I appreciate you guys. Guys, till next time, don't let that go over your head.